Hello and welcome again. I am the normal playing guy, and hey, I need to catch up on a lot of videos. Hey, so we're gonna do a quick one. It's the Easy A for Super Saiyan Goku and Gohan. When's the LR Easy A? And it turns out we didn't get one. That would have been the most ideal. This came out with the beginning of April Fools, right? Came out with that new cell, then there was the AGL cell Easy A, right? Then there's this guy, and for some reason never the Tech LR, but we'll do a quick video between the two, see how they've held up. These were good when they first came out, right? This I always found to be quite good. I've always managed to somehow rely on the dodge after the super attack, but other than that, yeah, because you had like a 50%, and then you also get an additional, right? So that's always nice. I say they had stats, right? So it's not as if they were terrible, but let's see what we can do. For sure, this is going to be a... Actually, I'm not even too sure what this will be, unless it's going to be 4 key, but hey, we'll check it out. So 180%, 59% on stats when you cross over 12 keys, so on super. Your super attack, stacked attack, that's a 20% gain and a 30% to defense. 50% chance to stun, you have a 50% chance to dodge, and then after the 6th turn on a super attack you get a 30%. So all round, a lot of bases covered, right? So let's have a look. Ooh, yeah, 20% up to 15. Okay, right. So now we get 2 key 200%. They didn't have that, so that's nice. So this is... Right, Super Saiyans or Goku family plus the additional 1 key for the Android Cell Saga. So that kind of how it made up the deal. So now we have 2 key 200%. Yeah, okay, so great stats. Remember, this unit will go up in stats. Statistically, this will now hit. Okay, fair enough. It's a little shy from what we would reasonably want, but the increase in stats would help. What else we got? 18,000 attack is actually really nice. For those with 1 dupe, we're looking at an extremely capable unit in terms of defense. And if you have Rainbow, there is your stat line. So with 12 or more key, you go from 59 to 159. That is going to be the big kicker. Super attack effect, greatly stack attack, greatly raised defense, still with a 50% chance to stun. Do you know, you can't really complain too much. Let's have a look. For the first 5 turns, you no longer gain just a dodge, you gain an additional 159% defense, 70% chance to crit. Well, this guy is doing everything. An additional normal 70% chance to become a super attack, and a 70% chance to dodge after you do a super attack. That's for the first 5 turns. Extra defense, crit, additionals, dodge. Yeah, he's a jack of all trades. From the 6th turn, you lose a little bit. We only get 59% defense. You have a 50% chance to crit, 50% chance to super, and 50% chance to dodge. To be fair, it's still good, right? You have a 70% chance here, and then now it goes to 50. It goes from 70% to 50%. It's not as if it's bad, right? Evading attack, you no longer need to build up, you just get it, period. And it's nice when you lose out on this. Obviously, within the first 5 turns is realistically where you want to end this fight. There's a lot of stats on this, huge. Going up the extra 40, whatever it is, and then this going up by 100%. This is just a full-on defensive buff. A crit is really nice, and then this is flat out straight up. There's a lot on offer here to help compensate for some of these stats here. It's quite a capable unit. It's going to be very versatile. I would imagine then, because of the defensive raise and the stun chance when applicable, that's probably going to be the reason why you go for additionals. Crits, you have a 50% chance at the very minimum, so I'd say no. And you have dodge, so this is a full easy on case to go. Nah, that's additional. You could also go for some of those defensive boosts. I could argue that because, again, defensively, this unit's going to look quite nice. If anyone's got the Rainbow, you're probably going to have quite a happy unit. We'll check out the links and best partners and then we'll also check out what Gohan does, right? So this will be interesting. Oh yeah, Golden Warrior gives you a nice key. Good, that's becoming more common. Same warrior race, yeah, okay. All in the Family is a really, really good link. That 20% defense applies to 20% of the stats, which, considering that everyone's been buffed by a bit, then yes. Super Saiyan's nice attack, key in attack, and then more attack. So again, considering you've got crits, the super attack goes to greatly stack, then he's going to be hitting crazy hard. Yeah, of course, Android Cell Saga, Kamehameha, right? Yes, Goku Family, Super Saiyans. Nice that you can have him on Pure Saiyans, right? So these are all pretty obvious. Heavenly events, that here are going to be pretty good. Turtle, Entrusted, Accelerated, and Heavenly events. Really nice. Bond of Friendship, Bond of Pairing, Bond of Master, a really good combination of teams. There's a whole bunch of 200% for like Super Saiyans, Pure Saiyans. So yeah, Turtle School. So no, don't be afraid to stick him on this, because they actually are going to be pretty nasty. I don't know if they have 250% leads, maybe, but for sure they've got 200%. And this is before we transform, right? Because Gohan's a bit of a tank. So we'll see now. So we're going to jump into Gohan, and this is 3 or more super attacks. Okay, very nice. Previously, 180% stats, 58% to attack. The more HP you have, 100% defense. Remember, that works on a 10% increment. Guards all attacks, so your first few turns, when guard is activated, you're guaranteed to have a whole bunch of this, right? In essence, you have this for 3 turns, and this procs per attack. So you're essentially guaranteed to get it, right? 70% chance to reduce a key blast attack, and then 50% to your stats. So he was pretty tanky. Now I see a lot more words. God, Christ. Jeez. I mean, literally, look what we got from here. Freaking hell. We talk about 3 years and we go to a university essay. Right, okay. So, 2 key, 250%. So we get an extra key, which is really nice. Takes the stress off the battlefield, 250%. Bear in mind, we have 200% leads. Huge amount of attack. No, that still remains the same. So this now goes up to 158%. So you get an additional. You're guaranteed to guard all attacks now, with an additional damage reduction of 58%. So you have a 60% damage reduction, nothing to sniff at for the first 3 turns. If guard is activated 2 times in battle, this is per hit, by the way. Guard is activated when you hit. So you get hit twice, you're going to have more off every single thing. Sheesh, more defense. That goes up to 68% damage reduction. You get hit 3 times, wow, more. 78% damage reduction, 50% chance to crit. 5 times in battle, you're guaranteed guard, period. Which is not exactly difficult for your first 3 turns, is it? You're going to get that probably in 1 or 2 turns. You'll end up with 88% damage reduction with 100% chance to crit. That's extraordinary. 70% chance of nullifying a key blast, but you're guaranteed, and a guaranteed counter with 77 HP or less. So they actually add a counter and it's guaranteed. That's crazy, right? That is a bit nuts. Oh, wow. What's his super attack effect? Massively raise. Holy, I didn't think they'd do that, but yeah. Massively raise stats for the turn. Sheesh. He's immortal. Literally immortal. All this extra stats. You heal, so then you can get this. You heal, you enter the turn, you get this. You already start off with 60% damage reduction with guard. And then I say, some difficult battles, Super Battle Road, you're going to get hit a bunch of times. Getting hit 5 times in that first opening slot? Yeah, I bet you could. So to have, dude, every single thing, like, you get hit and then this, you get hit again, this, you get hit, and then you get damage reduction. God, that is ridiculous. Links don't seem to change, so that's fine. But yeah, look at the teams, Jesus. This is the LR Easy A when, I don't know, came out same time, seemed like it might be a good idea. Right, so LR Gohan, okay, yeah, he's still solid. Stacks, does have guard. Yeah, 200% for Brain War, pretty nice, pretty nice. Yeah, he's Easy A, he's pretty bonkers. He builds up extremely quick. Can be useful. Yeah, still really good. Really good as well. Needs a Super Easy A. Yeah, that's the LR Easy A. That's really about it. There are, I mean, it is solid. There are some pretty decent people here you could link up with quite easily. Remember, because it's Goku and Gohan, you're not strictly limited to, like, for example, him, and him. It's either one really in terms of links, unless you have them either side of the Gohan. It's basically it. Remember, you don't get double buffs, so you ain't really gonna share too much. But this is a good one, right? I don't think teams change based on who we got here. No, it is essentially the same. Look, he's good, right? Don't get me wrong, he's really good. He's a really powerful Easy A. This unit seems to do everything between the dodge, the crit, the extra attacks. Yeah, it's good. You're going to have a fully well-rounded unit. Super Saiyan's Goku family, that's a pretty decent lead you got there right off the bat. But yeah, anyway, you let me know how it is. They've been out a little while now. When have they been out? 3rd of April, wow. But yeah, so they're pretty good. If you use them, let me know how you think. But otherwise, yeah, can't really go wrong. Right, I'll see you on the next one. Thank you, and have a good one. Bye-bye.